If the Warriors were to make a trade, what would they trade or who would they trade? Would it be players, draft picks, or a mix of both? Fansided put out a top 11 assets the Warriors can trade, and we're going to break down the rankings and decide if they are good or bad. Randy Silver, Warriors Digest here. Thank you for being here. The draft is 2 weeks away. The free agency starting period is 3-4 weeks away. It's about to get wild. Please subscribe so you don't miss anything in Warriors land. We're going to keep you updated on everything that goes down. It's about to come quick. And one of the things, maybe trades. And that's why we're going to go over the Warriors trade assets. So top 11 trade assets the Warriors have per Fansided. Number 1. Well, technically 11. Andrew Wiggins. When the Warriors signed Andrew Wiggins to a 4-year, $109 million extension in October 2022, it was lauded as an incredibly team-friendly deal for someone who had just been the second best player in the NBA Finals. You guys remember the video, Poole and him? You get the bag, you get the bag, we're getting the bag. Well, that bag is very heavy now because he's missed a lot of games the past 2 seasons. Personal reasons have taken him away, but also this season he just did not perform when he was playing. So the question is, what trade value does Wiggins hold? Would the team want him? And again, we've talked about this across many videos. Wiggins. So we look here. This year he's owed $26 million, then $28, and then $30 million on an option deal. If you trade him, based off where the Warriors are at in terms of our committed salary because of the aprons, it has to be a like-for-like deal. So we have to be able to trade around $24 million, $26 million if he's a single trade asset. If there's multiple players in there, the money has to match. So the question is that a good idea or a bad idea? Your starting 5, Brandin, Steph, Kuminga, Trayce Jackson-Davis, Draymond. Having Wiggins come off the bench, championship pedigree, has the ring, his defense, can make the shots, is huge. It's a big bench player. If someone's hurt, he can step in and play 2, 3, 4, more likely 3 of all of it. Probably not 4 or 2, but I mean, he has versatility. So the question is, can you get some players back that fill that role? Can you get someone who's a better sharpshooter? We put trades out there. Go look at my playlist. What if you go can get Jimmy Butler and it costs Wiggins, it costs Moody, and a couple draft picks? Is that a good idea? What if you get another sharpshooter like that? So I think putting Wiggins at 11 is fair. Something you can look at. And if you can get rid of the salary, helps you get below the apron and get back a sharpshooter, I like that. Number 10, Moses Moody. His trade value is hard to evaluate right now because we don't know what's a lot happening with him. 1, he's 21 years old. It feels like he's been with us so much longer. He was drafted out of his freshman year at Arkansas. And we look at Moody, he has 1 more year left on his contract. So he's extension eligible. If we don't sign him, then boom, he can go somewhere else, of course. $5 million. Not a lot in the trade. He would have to be a trade piece to bring somebody back. He is a great backup, can shoot. When he came in, he did really well. And Steve Kerr talked about he just isn't getting the minutes he needs because there's a logjam. So if Steve Kerr's not going to play him, let him continue to develop, then why not throw him in the trade if it's Wiggins and Moody and you can get back a star player on the wing to be a second scorer next to Steph who can be consistent is what we need. Number 9, Trayce Jackson-Davis. 24-year-old, so who's an older rookie, came in, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block. Did not make an all-NBA rookie team. Probably should have. Just didn't play enough the first half of the season. Made us so loony, went from playing every game for 2, 3, 4 seasons to not playing. Did not play multiple games. We're not going to trade him. It's a good asset. He needs to develop his shot. He's a great picker. He's great on the lob, around the rim, offensive rebound, hustle plays. And he talked about this offseason. We made a video about it. He needs to develop his shot, and he's working on that. Warriors aren't going to trade him. I mean, again, we look at his trade value. Look at Trayce Jackson-Davis down below. $1 million next year, $2 million, $2 million. He's under team control. 1, you have to trade like for like. 2, he's not being put inside a trade. He's going to be a Warrior for a long time. Number 8, first round pick 2025. The Warriors will be able to move their draft picks this upcoming draft, first round picks, And so 2025 is also number 7 is 2026. 2026, Steph will be 38 years old, Draymond 36 years old. Will Klay still be here, especially after this season? We have no idea. So what happens in 2025? That's next year's draft. So we look at 2025, next year's draft. Steph is on the last year of his contract. Draymond still has 2 years. Wiggins has 1 year. But a lot of cap space opens up. But you still have a $60 million contract. So if you trade the 2025 draft pick, then what does that mean? Where are we going to fall? Depending how next year goes, if we keep this team around, it'll be a mid-level pick. Like 15-ish. Probably going to be a play-in team, maybe around there. A little bit higher. So not that enticing to a team. However, the 2026 pick, if we look at that, then you go to the 2026 pick. What happens there? Steph is gone. Dre's in his final year. Wiggins is an option year. There's not a lot there. That is more enticing. Especially with Steph gone, say you don't recoup anything. That means that pick could be a lottery pick. Top 10 easily. So by trading the 2025 first round pick, not going to be a lot there. Maybe you can get a veteran player, someone like a Bruce Brown who's on the Raptors. They want to get something back, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But then 2026, this could be getting you back an all-star level player, someone like that, because you want to keep this core together or you want to build for the future, not have to build through the draft. Say a team wants to get rid of a star because they're looking to tank. Someone maybe like a LaMelo Ball over at Charlotte. I'm not saying like he's the player we want, but that team's not going anywhere. And if they want to get rid of him and just rebuild again and again and again, that could be somebody that you look at. And just so you know, this isn't the last time we'll say trade a pick. And something also to be aware of when we talk about picks is you have to have consecutive first-round picks year over year. So if we trade the 2025, that means we can't trade the 2026. If we trade the 2026, we can't trade the 2025. The Golden State can also trade its 2030 first, but only if it falls between numbers 1 through 20. The Wizards will receive the Warriors 2030 first if between numbers 21 and 30. We also have first-round swaps, so we can't just give away the first round. This means that we have to do a like for like. You give us yours, we'll take yours. So there's some trades there you can do with drafts. Number 6, Draymond Green. Where does his value lie? Obviously this season he spent a lot of time not playing because of suspensions. How much is he going to be making the next couple years? 24, 25 is basically 50. Basically making another $75 million the next 4 years. That's a lot of money for a team to want to pick up if you don't think his production is still there with offense and defense. That's going to scare people away. Also, the off-court distractions. Do they want to deal with that? Yes or no? I see a lot of comments. It's very mixed. Hey, keep Draymond. He's a core of our defense. He's a lifeblood of that locker room, especially with Jordan Poole gone now. He makes everything go. We played better with him. And the stats do say that when we look at the team this year, how they did with Draymond, without Draymond. Other people are saying he's not the same player anymore. Too many distractions. We could have a better power forward at 4 who can be able to score more. So it's really mixed. He's not going to go to some wanky-danky team, some team rebuilding. So, he's from Michigan. People said Detroit, but they're not at that point yet where they would want to get a Draymond. It's going to be a team near the cusp who really wants to take that next level in the playoffs, get to the playoffs, championships. Like, Kings, maybe. Like, he already knows Mike Brown, loves him a lot. Sabonis at 5, Draymond at 4, maybe. Like, I'm not saying the Kings want that. Maybe there's too much bad blood there. We saw Chris Paul and Draymond be able to work it out, so you could. But a team like that on the cusp who really is trying to make a jump, like Hawks, they try to do that, and they haven't been able to make it work. Miami, they're around there. They could definitely use someone next to Bam. So think of things like that. Teams probably in the mid-playoffs who would want to make a jump. Warriors in return, what could they get? First-round picks. Sharpshooter back to really help them. Number 5, the 2027 first-round pick. So Curry at this point will be 39. Green, 37. This will be a top 10 pick most likely if this team doesn't retool and get another star. So when you do that, again, 2027, you can see right here, really no one signed that far out anyways. So this would be allow you to pick past the prime. This would be an ideal pick for people to get. This means that the team won't be good at this point. So if you trade that pick and the teams think, hey, you're going to be really bad, maybe you get Jimmy Butler. He's older in his prime. You try to trade your 2027 first round pick. You get Butler. You have 2 or 3 years here now with the last core of Steph, Dre, and Jimmy. Can you do something? If not, they're all gone in 3 or 4 years. That pick will not be good. So the Warriors are mortgaging the future to win now. So it's a something out there. Number 4, Brandin Podziemski. Probably not happening. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists in his rookie year. He got 25 minutes. If you want to trade him, he'd be a good role player for a team. Question is, do the Warriors want to trade him? Backup point guard could be Steph's heir apparent. Again, when we look at his actual contract, Brandon's at $3 million, $3 million, $5 million. Team-friendly deal, what he provided. He's a great locker room guy. He led the league in getting charges this season, which is impressive as a rookie. Learned that from Chris Paul. But the team could maybe get him. Maybe somebody like the Knicks who want a backup point guard behind Brunson. Maybe a team like, I don't know, Denver could potentially use him. Maybe Minnesota could use him, and we can get some trade assets back. But Warriors aren't going to trade him. But he has value. 3, the most valuable pick probably, 2028 first-round pick. Curry will be 40. Green will be 38. They won't be with this team most likely. If they are, they're not going to be the star players. I mean, if Curry can do it at 40, impressive. So why does this matter again? 2028, if the Warriors don't do anything, we're mortgaging our future to win now. So if we give away our first-round pick in 2028, we're trying to get back a star. Karl-Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, people like that. You're winning now for the next 2, 3, 4 years, knowing your team will need to rebuild, but you're not going to have any draft picks to rebuild with because you're trading them away, the mortgage for the future. That's why it's so high, because that pick will be valuable at that point. 2, Jonathan Kuminga, best player on the team in terms of trade value right now because of what he can provide, his potential exponential growth, and what he does right now. Again, he's still only 21 years old. We look at his actual contract. Jonathan Kuminga is owed $7 million this upcoming season, so he's about to get a payday. There are reports going around $20, $30 million a year. He started halfway through the season. Look what he did. Obviously, him and Kerr had that conversation. So the question is Kuminga someone you want to trade? Can you trade Kuminga for Paul George and get a win now star if you don't think Kuminga's that guy? Same for Jimmy Butler. Same for Cat. Can you trade Kuminga and Moody to get someone? Kuminga and Wiggins to get somebody? Kuminga and the draft pick to get somebody? Teams are going to want Kuminga. I look at him very much like a Pascal Siakam. What he did with Toronto and built himself up. Siakam hadn't played basketball that much until he really started like late teens. Kuminga the same way. He didn't start playing until like young teenage years. Didn't do college, did the G League Ignite, and look at his blossoming at 21. He will be an all-star in the next 2-3 years. If Warriors give him the ball a lot and let him do his thing, it could be next year based off his production he could get. He's that guy. He is him. The teams will want to trade for him if the Warriors make him available. I don't think they should. And the last person who, again, the most of you say we should not trade Kuminga. I agree with that. And the number 1 trade asset that fan side said Warriors have, Stephen Curry. 4-time champion, 2-time MVP, first unanimous MVP. Could be worth money if the Warriors trade him. But they're not going to trade him. He's a Warrior for life. Unless he asks to be traded, which I really don't think he's going to, they're not going to trade him. But any team would probably go get Steph because he's the best shooter of all time. Miami, 100% would take him. Knicks, imagine him and Brunson next to each other. Be a tiny, small backcourt, but we've seen with Kyrie and Luka, how much defense are they playing? Their offense has taken them to the finals. Sacramento would love to take him, but he's not going to go to Bay or rival. I really don't think he'd go to the West Coast team. East Coast. Maybe Lakers. Put him next to AD and LeBron if they can make that work. For sure. People love that. Philly, him and Joel Embiid. Is that team finally making the Eastern Conference Finals? And they have plenty of salary cap to take that, and they have draft picks. So he is a massive trade asset, but I don't think he's going anywhere. And if he does, we will have a live stream on Warriors Digest having a kumbaya, a sad day, rest in peace, Warriors fans, whatever it may be, or excitement if that's how you feel. So those are the 11 assets FanSided said the Warriors have. Do you agree? Disagree? I have a feeling we're going to start to see some of this happen in the next days, if not weeks, as we have the trade deadline. We have the free agency start coming up. We have the draft coming up, and so much more is happening. So subscribe to Warriors Digest. Don't miss anything. We'll see you on the next episode.